Yes, sir. How's everybody doing? We are back from a little hiatus. We took a week off in between the Super Bowl. This is really when it gets really nauseating about the Super Bowl. I can't take any more bullshit about this Super Bowl. But anyway, Z-Man, happy birthday. How you doing, bud?
Thank you, Joe Cat. Thank you, man. I made another trip around the globe.
Yes.
It's going to be starting the 64th one. So
Nice.
I passed you. I passed you after 2 weeks.
You passed me after 2 weeks. That's it.
I don't know if it's good or bad, but
Hey,
I'm pretty happy.
we're
Had a
still
really
here.
good time.
Yeah, we were talking about it right before the show, the things you did. Sounds like you had a great weekend blast for your birthday. That's the way to do it.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Spending with friends, having a good time. We improved the economics of a few counties.
Yes.
And the amount of money that we spent in alcohol. And like I told you, I went to a ice softball tournament.
Oh my God, yeah, that
and
is
I ran
great.
into a lot of people that I hadn't seen in a while that I used to play softball with. Joe Cap, and I ran into a buddy of mine, Bub Salvador. He's a big listener. He's a
What's
shift
happening?
worker.
Awesome.
He's a shift. Yep. Throw a big to you, Bubs. Thanks for keep listening, keep sharing it.
Thanks,
Keep
Bub.
sending it out there for people. Don't forget, you can get in touch with us off the chest 84 at yahoo.com.
Yeah,
That's
man.
off the chest 84 at yahoo.com. Joe Cap, I went 4-0 on my last.
That's right. Let's go.
week.
Let's see where you're at.
So we're killing it, Joe. We're at 58, 33 and 1. That's 64%.
You are on fire this year. If somebody went with you all year long, it'd be better than buying AI stock. I think you'd be fucking better
and
off.
we're killing it. And like later on, I got a 6-pack of plays for the Super Bowl. I didn't go crazy because it would take you a year of Sundays to figure out what you wanted best. So we'll talk about it after. But you got a rant that wants to start off.
Yeah.
So Joe, the floor is yours. Get on your dancing shoes.
I got a rant about the Super Bowl. I hate the Super Bowl. I just hate it. I mean, it's been like that since day one for a lot of reasons. It starts with who's in the Super Bowl. The same teams, never the Jets. All right, the Giants. The only time I could really think that I enjoyed is when the Patriots lost to the Giants. I really do. That's the only time I can actually remember that the Patriots lost to the Giants. I actually enjoyed that. Although, one of the times the Giants won a Super Bowl, I had a box that if... let me see. Eli Manning handed the ball off, and the running back for the Giants, if he sat on his ass and didn't go and fall into the end zone, which wouldn't have been a touchdown these days, I would have won $14,000. And that killed me. Yes.
14. I don't care who you are. That's a lot of money, buddy.
Exactly. I would have hit for it because they would have kicked the field goal and I would have won the final score. But of course not. No. That's why. Listen, I hate the build up to it. The game usually sucks. Why don't they make it on a Saturday night? Why do they have to make it on a Sunday?
Wait, hang on. I can actually answer this really quick for you. Yep. I don't want you to lose your rant, though.
No,
but I can answer why. I can answer why it's not on a Saturday night. The reason why it's not on a Saturday night is advertising based. Saturday night is the worst night of television watching for the pundits to sell ad time.
Wow.
So thus,
okay,
yeah,
yep.
So like this year, a 30-second Super Bowl ad is going for $8 million.
Holy shit!
And so to sell that kind of stuff on a Saturday. Now I know it's the Super Bowl. People are out there like yelling at me, like, "Listen, dummy, if it's on a Saturday, it's good." But no, because it's a lot of it is based on the fact of the advertising for the TV ratings. But I will say this: the future plan and goal.
Oh yeah, I know.
Of the NFL,
absolutely,
is to add another game.
Yep.
To go to 18 games, 2 exhibition games.
Absolutely.
Also, though, and the twist is they want to go to 8 to 12 international games.
Oh boy.
And if the NFL gets that, what they're going to do is ultimately they want the Super Bowl to be on President's Weekend when everybody has the next day off.
Absolutely. And it's just one more week. So you're adding a week to the season and bingo, you're there. And that's
so your rant is like, why isn't it on a Saturday?
Yeah.
Well, if they have it on that President's Weekend Sunday, then you're going to, like, let's just say, 70% of Americans there's going to be a faction, Joe, of Americans that aren't going to have the next day off anyways. You know, your police, your firemen,
well, sure, not everybody.
Your first responders, your shift workers in factories, hospitals. But the majority of people would then be able to have the day off. And so I agree with your rant.
Yeah, and here's the other rant part of it is that most people bang out that Monday. Do you know that's the number one bang out day of the year as well? So most people call in sick that Monday.
On that day.
So stupid. Listen, the game usually sucks. I never hit. I pay all this money in these fucking pools, and I never hit shit. And that's the other thing, too. If I took that money over the years that I put into Super Bowl pools and put it into stocks or something else, I would have probably tripled my money, if not more. Instead, I got zero to show for it, and it drives me fucking crazy. But
anyway. I would say this to you, Joe.
Yeah.
Now, with the advent of mobile sports betting,
right,
in like 38 states, and you got Carolina, North Carolina does have it, correct?
Oh yeah, of course.
So this has been my argument, and I had it all weekend with people, and I got more pluses than minuses. Like everybody wants that quick fix, like that 14 grand hit and stuff.
Right.
But what I say is, why don't you take that amount of money that you're going to invest, and especially like this year, go to the money line. Because the money line is plus or minus right now 10, meaning like the Chiefs are minus 110, 112 or whatever, and the Eagles are plus 105.
Right.
So you're a 50-50 guess to make immediate money.
Yep. And at least it should be a good game. It should be a close game. I mean, I don't see one team blowing out the other team. I really don't. I think Philly's got a chance. I think Kansas City, obviously, Kansas City can beat anybody any given Sunday, and no matter what, as long as number 15 is behind center, and they can beat anybody. So it's going to be, I think, will be an interesting game. I have to admit, this year. But like I said, most years the games suck. And I never hit, and it's just, and all the hype and all the bullshit, and it's like, you know what? And then football's over. So then you're just like holding the bag. Oh, by the way, football's over, and it's February now. New York, where you are, where you're playing softball on ice on a lake, on a frozen lake. You're like, fuck. When is baseball going to start? And and basketball and hockey are not even in full gear because they're still kind of halfway through. They're not in full
gear. The college basketball's in full gear. So I think there's a lot. I think there's a lot to fall back in. And I really think that this Super Bowl is going to like live up somewhat to the hype that they're getting. And here's the other thing that we want to tell our listeners about. The one thing that you need to know about this game is the Eagles, although they are a 1.5 point underdog, are taking 57% of the money.
Huh. So most of the money's going to Philly.
Yes.
And what's the line on the game?
Right now it's 1.5 Kansas City.
Basically.
The total is 48, 49, depending on where you go. And you know what, Joe? Like while we're talking about the game, we're going to talk about here. Get your pens and piece of papers together. So we're going to get rid of this right now because we got a lot of stuff we want to talk about.
Absolutely. So we got catching up to do.
All right, so we're 58, 33, and 1, 64% on the year. Here's your run to the end zone, sponsored by the End Zone, 227 Park Avenue, Mechanicville. We're going to give you a 6-pack for the final big game.
That's everybody at the End Zone. Giving the Z-Man applause.
Scotty Rinaldi, Larry Grayson, thank you very much all year for our sponsorship. So here you go. We're not going to spend a lot of time on this. We're just going to give them to you. All right, your
Let's go.
six pack in order. I'm taking the Eagles plus 105 on the money line. The Eagles will win the game.
Okay,
Here.
that's your answer. Eagles are going to win.
Yep. I'm also taking the under 49. Everybody and their brother will bet this game to go over. Yet, in the last game, the Eagles scored 55 outside. The Chiefs scored 29 outside, yet the total is only 49. Give me that under all day long. So we're going to take the Eagles plus 105 on the money line, the under 49 points. Joe, tails never fails. Flip the coin, we're taking tails.
There you go.
And here's 4 plays for you. 1, we're taking Dallas Goedert, tight end for the Eagles, over 50 receiving yards.
Okay.
The Chiefs are the worst defensive team against tight ends in the NFL. Enough said. We're going to take Kareem Hunt under 11.5 rushes. There's no way that the Eagles front four is going to control. There's no way the Chiefs front four is going to control the Eagles front four. I think the Chiefs will be playing from behind. They can't run the ball now.
Right.
So we're going to take the under 11.5 rushes for Kareem Hunt. We're going to take Patrick Mahomes over 2.5 passing touchdowns.
Okay.
We're going to do that because I think they're going to be chasing the Eagles.
Yeah, they're going to be passing. Exactly. I agree.
And the last one is we're going to take Jalen Hurts to score an anytime touchdown. And for people that don't understand, all he has to do is anytime in the game, score a touchdown.
The running, what about a passing? Does that count?
No, he has to score.
He has to score, so he has to physically.
He'd have to run.
Okay.
Or he could catch a pass, arguably.
Yeah, arguably,
okay. Somebody.
Hey, the Philly special.
Yep, a Philly special. Yep. But there's your 6-pack right there.
Z-Man with the 6-pack. Yes.
Sponsored by the End Zone. 227 Park Avenue, Mechanicville.
Put your money,
guys, for all your stuff all year long.
Put your money with Z-Man, just like they said, put your money with Madoff. All right, Z-Man. So this is our final week. I
like that, Joe.
This is our final week of football, and we will talk about it when we get back, and we'll see how we did in the Super Bowl with the Z-Man 6-pack. I just want to shift gears a little bit and go just quickly into college basketball because I'm loving what St. John's is doing with Pitino and getting St. John's back on the map. Back inside, I think they're going to probably crack the top 10 this week since they won a big game against Marquette last night, which was a great game. And they got UConn coming up Friday night at 8 p.m., which I'm all over that game.
Yeah,
so
that'll be a national. Awesome. That's national, right?
That is national. I think it's on Fox. And it just brings back a lot of memories. We used to go down and watch Chris Mullen and Berry and Mark Jackson and all of them playing against Ewing and Pearl Washington at the Garden in the Big East games and the Big East tournament. I mean, it's great to see St. John's back in the mix. And it's great. I mean, Pitino's doing it basically on defense, hustle, and rebounds. I mean, they shoot terribly. They can't hit a foul shot or a three, but they seem to find a way to win. And in college basketball, that's enough, I guess. What do you think?
Absolutely. I think he's always been predicated on defense and scoring. Like he always plays, his defense always sets up his offense.
Right.
And he plays the transfer portal really well. And he's got stud guards. And now as basically we're in the second half of the season, the regular season, and you're seeing how well they're starting to mesh together.
Yeah. I
agree with you. Dude, did you ever go to a Big East tournament game in the Garden?
Ever? I've been to many.
Really?
Many.
That had to be crazy.
I would have to say Big East tournament at the Garden, maybe. I probably went to maybe, I don't know, 8 or 9 times, somewhere around there.
What was the best game you saw?
That's a good one. Let me think. I gotta think. St. John's. That I guess in '84 or '83 when they had Mullen in them. I think they went to the finals. I don't. Who won the Big East that year? I gotta remember. But those games were like crazy. I mean, they were crazy. And obviously through the years, back and forth. St. John's had some decent teams. They said that yesterday they went 20-3. St. John's is 20-3 right now. First time they last time they were 20-3 was 1986. So
Wow.
yeah, so that was after Mullins and
That's
Mark Jackson.
that's almost 40 years.
Right. So this is like a renaissance. Now, bringing back 40 years, let's change to the Knicks and the NBA. 40 years ago, it's 50 years ago, excuse me. 50 years ago, Walt Clyde Frazier and Earl the Pearl Monroe were the starting backcourt for the All-Star game in 1975. Now, in 2025, the first time since then, the Knicks have two starters on the Eastern All-Star team in Jalen Brunson and Cat. And I am ecstatic about to hear that. And it's awesome because that brings up another point with the trade, which the big trade for Davis, for Luka, which was basically right after the Knicks game.
What do you think about that? First of all,
insanity.
First of all, for those of us old enough, that was probably the biggest trade since Jabbar.
Well, that was, and it reminded me a little bit of when the Knicks got Earl the Pearl.
Yep.
And
good call, Joe. That's a good call, Joe. Cap,
yes.
Yeah. He just needs to get some Miller Lite.
But here's the irony of that trade. Okay, first of all, I'm a kid. All right, so that's 1970. So I'm 10 years old. I think it was 72 or 73 because it was after they won the 69 year, and they got Monroe. I think 72. But anyway, so when they got Monroe, as a kid, I said to myself, it's not fair. You can't have Clyde and Earl Monroe on the same team. They're going to beat everybody. And that's my thinking as a kid, thinking it's not fair, okay? And here's the other thing. So they're talking about Luka and LeBron playing together. And Larry Brown had called into Stephen A. and said, or texted him and said, great players learn how to play together and win. And that's what Earl the Pearl and Walt Clyde Frazier did. They learned how to play together, and they won a championship. And it's great to see that Cat and Brunson are starting to learn to play together, and they're not like. First of all, Brunson is the least selfish. Although he scores 35, 40 a night, and you would think he plays his ass off. Okay, he's unselfish. He dishes the ball all over the place, plays his ass off. I can't say it hard enough. And to me, he reminds me of Clyde. Now, Clyde says he reminds him of Willis Reed. So if you take Willis Reed and Clyde, put them together, that's a pretty good deal. But it's awesome to see. And last night was another game they could have lost. They were way ahead, and they almost blew it, and they came and won. And they've been just playing good team basketball, and I think they're, once they get maybe Mitchell back, and if they do make a little quick deal before tomorrow, who knows? Who knows?
I think first of all, I'll talk to you about the Knicks. The Knicks are flawed. Okay, I am a Knicks
Every
fan.
team is flawed. Every team is flawed.
The Knicks have no bench.
Well, there you go. That's what I'm saying. Hopefully, get a bench.
They have yep. And I think Mitchell Robinson can't stay on the floor. So I think that they have the ability or the chance to move him for an
yeah, they might.
I think the Knicks are to me, the Knicks are probably two big wings and a bench guard away from being really, really good.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Well, I mean, let's face it. The teams that are on the top of the heap, Celtics, OKC, you got to put up there now. Their teams, and even the Cavaliers, you can't sneeze at the Cavaliers anymore. I used to think, oh, well, it's just Donovan and then the rest of the team, but they're playing like a really good team and they're going to be tough. So there are some teams that look like they got it all together. Absolutely.
Joe, on the Doncic trade,
Right.
I think Dallas won that deal.
See, that was my next question. I think the complete opposite. But
Okay.
Give me your reasons why you think Dallas.
All right, here's why.
Go ahead.
This is what you got. This is what you got to say to yourself. Okay, there's only two players in the history of the NBA that in the playoffs have averaged over 30 points a game. Luka's one, Jordan's the other. But
let me hear the buts.
why? What? Like, why would you trade a guy in his prime?
Oh, yeah. There's definitely a reason.
And one of the reasons is he's never in shape.
Right. That's the main reason.
He started this season at 265 as a guard.
Oh yeah, I remember seeing that. And when he started camp, yep, he looked chubby.
He can't stay on the floor. And there's rumors, again, hearsay, we don't know, we're not there.
Right.
That he doesn't get along with management. He's got his own athletic training team, right, and he uses his guys. Here's with Davis. Davis isn't going to be a center in Dallas. He's going to be a power forward.
Okay.
Then he's going to have Kyrie Irving getting him the ball. And Dallas has a bunch of role-playing guys like P.J. Washington. Yeah. You know him well from Charlotte.
Sure. Absolutely.
Gafford, Daniel Gafford, by way of Portland and New Jersey.
Yep.
He's Blake Lively. He's got the guys that are going to allow him to excel. Now, he's 5 years older than Doncic. So the future is now in Dallas. But the NBA is so offensive orientated that this trade flicks the switch on offensive minded teams. And now when you play Dallas, you have to respect their size and athleticism. Now, is this trade going to be good down the road for the Lakers? Well, it gives them the next legend after LeBron is done. So then in the future, if you have cap space and stuff, then you could build around Doncic. But if he can't stay on the floor, I just think this was a slam dunk for Dallas. And I am in probably the minority on this. Well, but I'll stand by it.
Yeah, no, there was a few people who said the same thing for a lot of reasons you said. I don't disagree with all the things you said, to be honest with you. I don't disagree whatsoever. But what I'm saying is the Lakers, by getting Doncic, okay, say he is what he is, he's out of shape, he's this and that. He's going to a team with LeBron James, his idol. Okay? I can't imagine him going to the Lakers and not giving his all and getting in shape and getting his game together and trying to win a championship and trying to be the best or to be as good as LeBron and using LeBron as his mentor, let's say.
Okay, and using that.
Right.
I like your logic. And in using that, I'm not using it against you. All I'm saying is, well, why didn't he do it in the first 6.5 years in Dallas?
Because he was the lone guy. He didn't.
Well, he had Irving for the last 2 years.
Irving
they made the conference finals last year.
Is Irving the kind of guy you want to emulate? Or LeBron is his idol. LeBron, and look at LeBron. He's 40 effing years old, and he's diesel, and he's fucking running the court and slamming the ball. I mean, it's almost like he's, man, he's like.
How funny was that they housed the Knicks
right
on the night that they made the trade?
Exactly.
And Davis was in Los Angeles not playing, right, and LeBron just went off.
LeBron played He kills the Knicks. He says it all the time.
He loves to kill the Knicks.
He loves to kill the Knicks. Okay, whatever.
He's like Jordan and Reggie Miller.
Well, no one was worse than Jordan. No one's worse than Jordan. No one.
He loved it.
I would go to a game. Jordan would be playing, and in the first half, Jordan would maybe have 12 points, and you're going, I don't know, maybe he's off tonight.
I never saw him play.
Oh
Joe,
my God! And then the second half, he'd have 40, like literally, and he'd just take the game over, and he would just hit every shot, make every stop, make every play.
How many times did you see him play?
I saw Michael Jordan play his first game ever with my bud Tom Fleming, who's listening. He should be listening.
Hi, Tom.
We went to
good man having Joe Cap at the game with you. Did he buy the beers?
I wonder if he'll remember this. We went to Michael Jordan's first game ever at the Garden as a Bull player. He was a rookie, and at the time we were like, let's go see this. It's Michael Jordan, man. He's, we got to go check him out. So we went to the game. I swear to God, I remember when he had the ball, when the ball was in his hands, the crowd would just go, ooh. Like you could feel it. It was the strangest. And this is his rookie year, his first game at the Garden. And then ever since then, I don't know how many times I saw him at the Garden. I don't know. 15 times, maybe. I don't know. Whatever.
Wow, that's awesome, dude.
Oh, yeah. I mean, playoffs and everything. But the thing is, you just saw him just destroy. You couldn't beat him. You did every possible thing to try to beat him. And the Knicks had some really good teams back then, obviously, during those years. And they busted their ass to do it. And he just is, to me, listen, Kareem, you want to see Kareem is the greatest of all time. Whoever, it's all that stuff. To me, Michael Jordan, I've seen him with my own eyes, and it's like ridiculous. The guy was a winner. He would not back down from nobody. And I tell my kids, and they laugh. I said, yeah, when Jordan came up as a rookie, he got the shit beat out of him, but a lot by Detroit and teams like that when he first came up, and they don't believe me. And I'm like, go watch some of the games. And they couldn't believe it. Lambeer would be fucking hammering him. These guys would beat the shit out of him his first few years. Same with Patrick Ewing. I told him that. I said, you don't understand, when these guys were rookies and they came up into the NBA, they got the shit beat out of them. Not like they do now where they treat you. Wembanyama, he's crying because he gets fouled or doesn't get a foul call. This is the NBA. These guys were getting hammered as rookies in the NBA, which doesn't even exist anymore. Doesn't exist.
I agree, man.
Yeah,
I agree.
It was a different game. And the first time I got really close to an NBA game down on the floor and I saw what these guys did to each other, I was like, holy shit. I mean, elbows, flying arms, elbow in the ribs, shoulders. I mean, these guys, it was nuts. And now, you breathe on a guy, it's a foul. And, these guys are crying about not getting calls, which Luka does, by the way. And, it's like, it's a different game. And like Jordan will even tell you, it's if he was playing now, forget it. He might average 50 a game. Who knows? Because of the the fouls and everything.
We'll see, man. Hey, let's take some quick hits. I'll throw a couple at you. You throw a couple at me, and we'll see what we say. How about David Silver or David Silver? 90210. David Silver. Check the mic. How about Adam Silver?
I know.
Talking about reducing the time of NBA games.
Give me a break.
Give me 30 seconds on how stupid that is.
Yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous because for a lot of things, I mean, first of all, it's all right. Granted, it's a long season. Okay, I get it. But that's the deal. I mean, it's always been that way. You know what I mean?
And TV pays his salary.
Exactly.
And how are you going to reduce the game time with the advertising? Like how stupid, what are you thinking about? You know what? That's an idiotic thing.
Well,
all right, next one.
Go ahead. Next.
He's an idiot. Next one. Josh Allen get the first down.
You know what? It was very close. I'll bring up a better point. The NFL has got to do something. This is ridiculous how they can't get calls right, and there's always controversy. I don't give a shit what they do. They got to use replay. They have the technology. They got to do something to get these calls effing right. I don't get it.
As one of our great contributors that listens to us all the time, Dana Horg said, they got to figure out how to get digitized like down markers.
Whatever. Exactly. The technology's out there. It's out there.
I'm surprised I'm sure somebody's already made something.
Here's the thing. There's billions and billions of dollars gambled on these games. I mean, you're going to tell me you can't get the calls right? I mean, the integrity of the game. Bullshit. I mean, to me, and then there's all the controversy of the other Kansas City gets a lot of calls, and Mahomes with the roughing. We talked about that last show. All right, whatever. But I mean, first downs and possessions. I mean, I don't even want to go into the weeds with the pass interference, because that's a whole nother crock of shit. I mean, every play you call pass interference, like every play you call holding. So what is a holding? What is pass interference? What it drives me fucking crazy.
I agree, and like when you're talking about shady stuff, now this week MLB fires an umpire for sharing betting app stuff, and this umpire Holberg, he was one of the rated one of the top 10 umpires in MLB.
Yep. And
we talk about this all the time. The gambling circles are now starting to open the creepy doors.
That's right.
Your guy, Terry Rozier from the Charlotte Hornets, now they're under investigation for possible illegal doings by him.
Well, listen, it's very simple. When there's money, there's corruption. Yep. When there's billions of dollars on the line, there's corruption. Whether you call it point shaving, whether you call it refs and umps, whatever.
You call it controlling the game. What they do, Joe, is they call it controlling the number.
Exactly.
Meaning you're not necessarily throwing a game. What you're doing is you're controlling the game so that somebody who has the ability to bet like a lot of money could get inside the number of the betting number, or they could be on the outside of the betting number and taking the side that they want to, like, say, win or lose.
Yeah.
They're controlling the number, and I think that's been going on for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
And now you're starting to see it more and more.
Well, I think, like I said, the more money that's involved, the more, skepticism, or more, there's going to be all kinds of people, involved in all the decision making and stuff like that. I mean, it just, to me, if you're going to have legal gambling, at least have the best way. Listen, nothing's 100%, nothing's perfect, but have the best technology, especially the NFL, who fucking, they print money.
Yep, I agree, and all the sports. But the good thing is,
sports, right?
But the good thing is, the watchdog is actually Las Vegas.
Right.
They have the best ways of finding out how, like, games are going, like, on the wrong side of the law, so to speak.
Yeah.
They have fail safes in place where they understand why games are being abnormally bet, what's transpiring. And now with Big Brother watching you, with everybody betting on their phone, your phone could be, you know what I mean? It's just crazy. But I mean, it's going to happen.
But yeah, somebody will figure out a way. I mean, it's like anything. Yep. It happens. The Ponzi schemes, the cryptocurrency, all these things that happen because when there is money, the more chance of corruption, the more chance of something happening. And I
agree.
It's human nature. It's greed. It's human nature.
I agree. What else you got, kid?
All right. So one other thing I'd like to talk about is hockey real quickly. Rangers made the deal for JT Miller.
Good trade.
They're playing right now into the first period. There's no score. It's good trade. I thought he was going to the Hurricanes. If he went to the Hurricanes, I was like, oh, shit. Hurricanes are playing fantastic. So now I can't even root for the Hurricanes. And also they lost Brett Pesce, who is now on the he's on the Devils. He's a local kid from Irvington, New York. and he is on the Devils, which stinks because I can't root for him now that he's on the Devils because he's on the Devils. But whatever, good for him. He's close to home, and so his family can go see him play. And he's in the New York area, metropolitan area. So
which is good now because after next week, the next show. After the Super Bowl, we got college basketball in full swing. We got the NBA and the NHL. And you know what starts next week, don't you?
What's that?
Pitchers and catchers.
Is that next week already?
Yeah, it starts next week. Come on now. Hey, you know what else started this week? Let's give a big shout out to our boy Willie Katz. The college lacrosse season started this week.
That's right.
I actually watched a game, Division II, between Florida Southern and Limestone because I've got attachment. Remember Tony Simone?
Yes.
His son Michael, a 4-year starter in goal for Florida Southern. They're ranked 15th in the country.
Awesome.
And my buddy Bonehead, his son Michael, was a third-line attack for Limestone. Unfortunately, he got injured. Probably going to have to miss the rest of the year. They're ranked 4th in the country. So, yes, Joe, I actually watched lacrosse on Saturday as well before I yet continued my birthday weekend.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, I think we covered just about everything that we wanted to cover this week.
Shout out to Jake.
Yes, Jake,
wherever you are.
Team. Yeah, he's busy. He's full. Jay Woo's in full swing, so they're all over the place. So we'll get Jake back probably when more towards the end of the season.
Yeah,
but,
Jake's our basketball guy.
Yeah,
I'm sure he's got some hot takes.
Oh yeah, we'll get him dealing with the NBA, and he's our NBA insider, so we'll get him going. But anything else, Z-Man, before we go?
Just like I said, follow Z-Man's picks. We're on 58, 34, and 1. I can't. Joe,
that's right. Follow Z-Man.
Joe, I'm surprised none of these guys that do it for a living haven't called me.
You know what?
I'm like John Anthony, Joe, in that movie, Two for the Money.
You gotta start your own blog and your own network and get it going.
Yeah, that's where I'll go 1 in 90.
Yeah. All right, Z-Man. We'll see you after the Super Bowl. Have a great weekend and enjoy the game. I hope the game's a good game and I hope I win some money. I'm not looking to freaking break the bank.
I want you to win $14,000, Joe Cap.
And this year's it hasn't been too bad because I did win second place in fantasy, and I'd hit a couple small little pools, so I can't complain. But
Joe,
you know what?
That puts more money in our budget, Joe, for us to do more picks.
Exactly. All right, everybody. Till we see you next time from Off the Chest.